You know where the women not being able to fast came from. I've been in this space so long. I know all these trends and where they came from. So do you know?
Well, I don't know exactly who started it, but I know that it's a bunch of, I don't want to say uneducated, but not properly based physiology and or science. And it's individuals who just don't understand it. That's the big thing. That's who's spreading it anyway. Who
So
started it?
it started with one such person that you aptly described it there, and then others have echo chambered her. But one female blogger, she was very big in the paleo world back in 2011, wrote a book, it seemed like a book, wrote a blog post all about her personal experience. It was an N equals one. It wasn't a scientific study. It was her experience with fasting. And of course, she didn't have a good experience. She did things the wrong way. All the things that we've been talking about this week, she made the mistakes. And so when you do bad fasting, what do you expect when you get bad results? And so the problem is she was such an influential voice in that world that it became this moniker of, well, this person found that fasting was horrible for women, therefore it's horrible for women. And I'm thinking, that has no scientific method written on it at all. But that's where it came from. And then now all these echo chamber of, well, it happened to her, and yeah, okay, it must happen to me. And you're right. It's just such non-science, never been found to be true. I know many women, including the two wonderful ones on this panel, who do very well with it, fasting.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, I'm still seeing sponsored ads on Facebook and Instagram saying, absolutely do not do this. It tanked my hormones. Well, you know what? It tanked mine too, but I figured out how to not tank it and how to do it properly. So there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to do it, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything.
Yes.
And, if you do anything the wrong way, you're going to have a bad experience and a bad outcome. So it's more for educational purposes, just like this, and giving people the information, and what they choose to do with it is completely up to them.
Well, and that's the thing, Lindsey. It's like, just try it. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Absolutely. And it's great that we have these rooms where we can debunk all these misnomers and these myths and put the real information out there, because it's really the waters are pretty muddy out there in terms of how to break a fast, what types of fasting to use for what. And so I think when we go back to our why are we fasting? Why do we want to? And that information, then people can play with it and start to incorporate into their lives. I think so often we get so serious, and it's something that should be natural and an extension of your life.
Yes, I love that. Natural and extension of your life. That's the way keto is. That's the way, like, literally, like you were saying, Caitlin, all the things in your life. Just take them in stride and let it be a part of it. Like, everybody tries to force like this square peg in a round hole, and it's not meant to be that way. And I love that. And that's what we preach, all of us up on the stage here, is this is lifestyle. You're not trying to force anything. If at any moment I wanted to end my fast, I could do it. Like, I'm choosing not to because I'm feeling good, relatively, for day 8 of a fast. But let's talk about that a little bit, because we've gone 7 days. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the all-new Fasting Clarity Clubhouse. Thank you for being here. Click on the hand if you want to pop up on the stage. We'd love to have you join us here on this last day of this 7-day water fasting challenge. But like, some of us are continuing on. And I don't know. I just have this notion within me that I want to see how empowered I could be. I'm still having the gastric distress, Dr. Caitlin, and not bad, but it's enough to go, okay, there's still stuff coming out of me. I almost kind of want to see it stop before I stop the fast. Is that a good kind of prudent way to do this? As long as I feel good?
I was going to say, there's obviously, and there's always caveats to it, right? How do you feel? Do you feel good? Is your energy up? Are you getting other symptoms associated with it? And then, obviously, since it's not coming out formed, making sure that you're staying hydrated, because the last thing you want to do is to dehydrate yourself while doing that. So the caveat's always, as long as you feel good and you're not having any other symptoms, then it's up to you. You can wait it out and see, or you can break it and come back to it in a little bit once your body has time to reset.
It's almost at this point, Dax, becoming this mental challenge, at least for me. And I know you've done a lot of long fasts in your life, and so I like the idea of kind of setting this challenge for myself, because that mere accomplishment of meeting that and doing it kind of empowers you, and it gives you confidence in other areas of your life. Have you seen that, Dax?
Yes, Jimmy, absolutely. The the whole fasting experience. I want, before I say anything else, I want to touch on what you were talking about a bit ago with the people that don't like fasting, say don't do fasting. Fasting is not really an easy thing to do. The benefits are almost endless. It affects positively virtually everything in your body. And the people who don't like fasting or say you shouldn't fast, number one, I think many of them have just never done it. They can't imagine not eating, so they can't imagine anyone else eating. And unfortunately, those people have access to WordPress and can write a blog.
Right.
Because it's not easy, that's part of the benefit of it, actually. It creates self-discipline in you that you may never have had. Especially food discipline. Food discipline is so hard. Our society is a get rich quick, get well quick. Please me, and because of that, that doesn't lend itself well to strict discipline in regard to eating or not eating on a fast. Fasting is as I've said before, it's a solo pursuit. And it makes you stop and be introspective. It makes you think about who you are as a person, makes you think about your relationships and how you conduct yourself in those. It's really an amazing way to have almost like a full review of your body, physically, mentally, spiritually. And you come out of that, especially with a longer fast, with a deep sense of appreciation for your life, an appreciation for other people. It's really, really amazing, and I can't. There's nothing else like it, quite frankly.
I agree. And the funny thing is, Lindsey, that you can play mind games with yourself. Just before we came on the air, I was talking with a friend on the phone, and she's contemplating doing a fast, but the longest she did was 36, and the only reason she ended it was she had heart palpitations, and she read somewhere that could be a sign she was about to have a heart attack. So she kind of freaked herself out with the mind games. And would you agree that fasting, Lindsey, is more mental than it is physical?
Absolutely. There is a physical component, but definitely it's that mental component. Even if your body doesn't physically need external food because it's drawing from the stores on our bodies, it doesn't physically need that, but mentally we have an emotional attachment to food, or we have stress, and so our body triggers a response. For some people, they don't eat when they get stressed, and other people are stress eaters. And so recognizing that there is a mental component, and I think going in prepared, knowing that it's going to be a challenge. I think you get caught off guard, oftentimes, especially the first time you do it, because the experience is brand new. And but I think when you hear the experiences of others and they can help pave the way and help guide you, then you're not caught as off guard. You just, oh, okay, I know that this is normal, and that takes some of the fear or the anxiety out of the experience.
Yes, that's what I was telling my friend I was talking to. I'm like, that's kind of normal within the context of a fast. She's like, oh, really? So I love that we've done this week. I've learned so many things this week that I feel like I'm pretty good at knowing fasting, and I learned a lot about fasting this week. I hope you guys in the audience did as well. And you're in the Fasting Clarity Clubhouse room. Thank you guys for being here today. The brand new, this is literally the debut episode here, going live from the new Clubhouse. Go click on the green house at the top. Subscribe. I know Dr. Caitlin's got one for women and foodies. Lindsey, are you doing anything in the world of kind of fasting here on Clubhouse, or are you going to just pop in the rooms?
Well, that's my club, the Fasting Foodies.
Ah, you're joining Caitlin. Okay. Sweet.
Well, Caitlin and I were talking about that. So mine's a little bit more broad. Hers is specific to women in fasting food.
I got you.
And yeah, so mine is Fasting Foodie. So talking about all different modalities of fasting, and then especially how food is medicine. So that's really going to be the focus of my rooms.
Yes, and Dax, I know you started a room for guys over 50 to help them live a vibrant life. You want to talk about yours?
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. My club is called Cool Gray Cats.
Cool Gray Cats. I love it.
It's for people who want to be a cool cat and they've got the silver going on and they really want to emerge from the first half of their life ready to enjoy the second half even more. They're probably better prepared, a little more mature, and they're ready to launch their supercharged new self. It's going to be more of a complete and overall view of life after 50. It'll be lifestyle. There will be some health, and there will be some fitness aspects to it as well. But it's more developing a mindset that's necessary to really enjoy the second half of your life. But yeah, Cool Gray Cats. I appreciate the chance to talk about that. So thank you very much.
See, guys, we have the A team up here on stage today. All of us are creative types and definitely doing our thing. So go ahead and hit the hand if you want to raise your hand. Come on up on stage. I'd be delighted to bring you up here, have you be a part of the conversation here on the last day of the Water Fasting Challenge. Caitlin, I want to start with you. Kind of what should people be reflecting on? So they did this experience. Maybe they went 2 days. Maybe they went 5 days. Maybe they all went the 7 days. What should they be like looking at as kind of markers of that they did well here and then how that will propel them for the next fast?
Well, I think regardless of how long you go, celebrate the length that you did because you're in a club of people that are pretty small compared to most of the world outside of religion fasting, because there's times where certain religions will fast, but it's not usually out of, hey, I really want to do this for my health. It's to support the religion that they're a part of. And so the fact that you went, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, you're going to go longer, celebrate that you were able to go and, withstand, just like what Dax was saying and what Lindsey was saying and what Jimmy's been saying this entire time, the mental component behind not eating. And then on top of that, regardless of how long you went, you gave your digestive system a break from digesting food. And so that means that roughly 30% extra energy was able to be diverted to other functions in your body. So you're already a better off person, a healthier individual for going that length of time without eating. So always, always, always celebrate the wins and reflect on how did you feel? Is this something that you would like to challenge yourself and push yourself to go a little bit further next time if you maybe didn't quite reach the end game that you were hoping for? What was it that you were feeling? And then the thing that I always like to reflect on is, okay, what is it I want to see different for myself in the future? How do I see my future being different, whether it be, my health or my relationships or my business or my travel or whatever it may be? Because it seems like this time when we're fasting, we get, just like you said, Jimmy, all of these creative juices flowing.
Yep.
So sometimes things come up that we're like, oh my goodness, I never thought to do that. So that's really what I like to do.
I went live on Keto Clarity Clubhouse this morning. I was just going to go and say, hi, welcome, I'm here. And it ended up being 2 hours. And I was just like having so much mental energy. And I was telling them, like, guys, I'm finishing up day 7 of a fast. They were all blown away by that. I'm like, come over to Fasting Clarity. I'll talk about it. Yeah, it blows people away.